Welcome back to Main Street Living, ladies, Cheryl and Danielle. I have to tell you, last year, a Navy buddy of mine, he booked a hiking trip for a group of us, and I actually turned it down
Ooh.
because me and nature don't do well. Has something to do with Boy Scouts way back in the day. So,
Really?
yeah. Long story.
We'll have to hear that sometime.
Well, some of us do like nature, and with the holidays, behind us, we're starting to settle into winter, which means perfect time to head down to the Southwest and do some exploring in the desert. So here to tell us about some of the best places to hike in Arizona, we have Justin Owen, CEO of the McDowell Sonoran Conservancy. Welcome, Justin. Thanks for joining us on Main Street Living.
Thank you so much for having me.
So first question here, perfect time for hiking Arizona right now. What do we need to know before we hit the trails?
Well, one of the big things that people don't always remember is hydration is key. So a lot of people think that, oh, since it's cooler out, I don't need to drink as much water. And you actually do. We have a lot of folks that get out there and might not have enough when they get out on the trails. As well, with what's going on right now with the pandemic, making sure that you socially distance, making sure that when you're passing people on the trails, you step to the edge of the trail, and make sure you give people plenty of space, because there are a ton of people out enjoying everything right now.
Absolutely. And I know you don't want to get too close to the cacti out there either. I've actually hiked in that area before, and I know not to touch them, but they're so cool to look at. I'm obsessed with them. And I know things have changed a lot, obviously, due to the pandemic, as you mentioned, but how else have you had to adjust?
Our operations out in the McDowell Sonoran Preserve have shifted with education. So letting people know that there needs to be the distance out there, that they need to be able to give space, because it's one of the few respites people have. Thing going on right now of not being able to out and be as physical, but a lot of the science behind mental health, the amount of freedom you get from being out, to be able to take a moment away from the noise, to take a moment away from the news and just relax in nature has been huge. So educating people on how to be safe and enjoy the desert has been a lot of focus.
Yeah, I'm with you. When I go out into the wide open space, like, give me some space. I'm out here for space. If I wanted to be crowded, I would have stayed inside. This is the 30th anniversary of the Conservancy. So you must have seen a lot of people come through the preserve in all of that time. Thinking about a normal year, have you seen an uptick in trail usage since COVID? More people going outside?
It is amazing the uptick we've had in people coming out and using the trails, because there's so few activities that people can do right now to be outdoors and to get a different space. As an example, we usually get about 750,000 users in the preserve every single year. And this year we're looking at over 1 million. So we have seen a ton of people come out and enjoy the space.
That's fabulous to hear. I mean, it's good too for us to get out and exercise and do all of that. And I know that you mentioned education is so important for you, and you have an event coming up in February for children. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so our Expedition Days event is usually live and in person. This would be our 5th year doing it, where we bring over 1,000 Title I, 3rd, and 4th graders out and teach them about the Sonoran Desert in the natural classroom, is what we like to call it. And it's amazing because we do this focus for Title I schools, because they don't get the opportunity to get out. It blew my mind the first time we did our student survey, and over 75% of them had never been to the desert, yet they live in the Phoenix metro area. So typically we have those 2 days for the Title I schools, and then we have a public day on the 3rd day where anybody can come out and enjoy the exercises and the experiments and everything we're doing in the desert.
Yeah. What are some of the things you might encounter on the trails this time of year?
Other than other people, a lot of people look
like
at
wildlife.
Yeah. Oh, I would love to know that. What types of animals would we see?
Well, fortunately, you don't have to worry about engaging a lot with mammals, but so like your mountain lions and those, they typically can see you, but you probably won't see them. What you're going to see out there right now is a lot of our hawks and a lot of our birds and our raptors flying around, as well as all of our fun little over 1,000 insects that we have will be wandering around. Right now, you probably won't see a lot of snakes, so I know people always ask about that. But just a reminder to people, once it gets over about 65 to 70 degrees, the snakes like to come out and sunbathe. So make sure you keep your distance from them as well. But We have a lot of critters out there. We're very fortunate because of how large the preserve is. We have one of the largest mule deer populations in the state. So there's a high opportunity you'll get to see those little mini deer out there.
Oh, yes. I mean, everybody knows I'm an animal lover. So I love looking at the wildlife and taking pictures when I'm out there hiking. Where can people learn more and find maps of the trails and figure out where to go?
Absolutely. If you go to our website, McDowellSonoran.org, we've got all of the trail maps on there as well. We're in the process, probably in the next 3 weeks, we're going to be launching a guide to what might be an easy trail versus a more difficult trail versus a very difficult trail, because our trailhead ambassadors that are usually out there aren't right now because of the pandemic. So we're going to be looking for opportunities to virtually be able to show people where to go as well. There's always maps at each of the trailheads when you want to get out there and have fun.
That's fabulous. Yeah, it's good to know too which ones are hard versus easy. Because I think I like the easy ones. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Oh, Danielle, that was fun. And coming up next on Main Street Living, most of us have heard about healing retreats, but do you really know what they are? We're going to explain that next.